Hello, everyone. It's Cribini and Tina.
Hi.
Welcome to another live coming from the Mariani residence here in Portugal.
Yes, in Lydia.
Hope you guys having a great day. Hope your week has went well. Everybody's doing good. You guys are safe, and you guys are in the best of health.
Yes.
That's what's most important.
Yes, and health is what we're going to be talking about today, right?
Absolutely.
Health bills. A lot of you guys are always asking about medical costs. We get a lot of horror stories about costs in the US.
Yes, a lot.
And it's a driving force, honestly. I mean, that and the rising cost of plain everything in the US for you guys.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's a driving force of why people are thinking about relocating abroad. And don't let the horror stories scare you. Don't let, something you heard from so and so and so and so and so and so's friend around the corner, twice removed, that really holds no merit, lead you to not make a change that could be for the better.
Right. And you have to find out for the facts for yourself.
Amen.
Not based on that those hall monitors talking. Don't know what they're talking about. Ain't did the research. Don't know what's happening. But just be talking and quacking and not really putting everything together. Talking loud and ain't saying nothing.
I agree. Amen to that.
So let us know. Let us know where you guys are from. Leave your comments.
Yeah,
thumbs
go
up.
to that chat and check in, say hi. Of course, yes, please hit that thumbs up. But tell us where you're from. Tell us who's here, because I don't know you're here till you say hi. So say hi.
We're glad we made it back from all our many trips we've been on.
Yes.
Quite a lot of trips, quite a lot of traveling. We're resting for a few months. And then, before you know it, back to the airways once again. And this year is loaded. So we'll keep you guys posted as we get to another country. We'll do a live. We'll let you guys know what we're doing, where we're at. And you guys can see what we see.
And I hope that you guys are enjoying. We're posting our trips to Spain. We're posting our trips to France. So I'm trying to vary it every now and then so you don't see the same thing all the time. Jorge said, hello, guys. How are you? I'm from Portugal. Okay, Jorge. What part of Portugal?
I'm glad you mentioned Portugal. I love my new home. I love it here. I love the weather.
Oh, Lisbon. Okay.
Oh, okay. He's an hour and a half away from us.
Yeah.
South. We're north. You're south.
And Global Citizen said, what's good, fine people? New York City in the house. NYC.
NYC
in the place to be.
House. How's the weather in NYC? How's the weather? How's the cost of living? Let me know what's happening.
Cold-blooded. That's what it is. Right about now.
How much it costs for a studio apartment in New York? Hope you guys are staying warm, man, because I know that everybody's utility bills went up. So I hope you guys are just staying nice and warm and you can afford that oil, whatever. And you guys are good. That's the main thing. You were telling me that our temperatures are going to be between what and what next week? 70 and 75. Didn't you say that? We're going to 70 and 75. In the 2 weeks, we'll be at 75 degrees here. I'd be very, very happy. I looked outside today, Tina. I seen the trees and they started growing. It's like April's already here almost. And next year, next month. Oh my God, March just started to calm down. It's only like the 4th of March. Hey, I look at the tree and the trees are starting to bud. I'm seeing the daisies come up, and they know more than the groundhogs.
So Tamara's here, and we know she's in Portugal. She said, hey, I think I will be going back to Cali. Not permanently, no, just to visit, right? And Global Citizen from New York said the cost of living is sky high.
Hey, I tell you what, man, it's worse in California, that's for sure. Wow. Yeah.
So do you have anything else? Because if not, I'm gonna start getting into stuff. You ain't talking about nothing. Well, I'm gonna get into it.
Well, let's talk about our cat Milo.
Yes.
Our cat Milo had
you see her with her cone, right?
With cancer.
Yes.
I noticed it maybe 3 weeks ago. There's a little lump on her side, her rear.
Actually, it was almost a month ago. Yeah.
And so it concerned me. So we took her to the vet.
Yeah. And so when we talk about prices and we talk about how much you would save, we want to put this into perspective. So let me tell you, she went through a blood test, then biopsy, then she went in for her labs and her ultrasounds.
Mm-hmm.
She had her surgery. Her surgery ended up being more complicated than they anticipated. And we didn't want her to lose a leg. That's because it was on her back hind leg. And we feared that she might lose a leg. They did everything that they could and they saved it. So she did lose a lot of muscle mass. So we're talking an intense surgery. She ended up with a skin graft. And then she ended up having to stay, what was it, almost 7 days extra
in the hospital.
So they boarded her in the facility, and we'll talk about the facility and all that too, because I've actually already forwarded the information to certain people that needed it here that's already here. But they boarded her. Then she ended up having to have her, of course, next lab, which was for the last test to make sure that they got all of it, because she ended up also getting one of her lymph nodes removed because they saw something that concerned them. So that's what's being tested. So that's where we're at now.
Mm-hmm. And they got they have the cone on her neck, so she won't compromise the surgery.
Yeah, because she still has her staples and everything in.
Right.
So with all that, I know, like you really wondered how much is this all going to be. I mean, they quoted us on on every procedure, and so at the end we tallied everything up. And then I was reaching out to, and I want to grab this to be exact, but I was telling other expats that aren't here yet, and a couple that are, and to see how much they paid. And I had one person tell me, a guy told me, Timothy told me in California, he went to a 2-hour emergency visit because his cat had the runs for the weekend, and he was afraid that the cat was becoming dehydrated. So he went there, and he said he paid almost over $1,000 for just for them to look at her at the emergency room.
Mm-hmm.
And then another lady said that she lives in New York City, and that she did have a cat that had a bout with cancer, and it was over $10,000 by the time she finished paying all the bills for her cat. So Milo's total for everything that I just said, that whole list of everything that she had done, was how much?
$1,275.
Yes, 1,275 euros. That's how much it cost us, which it would be less in dollars.
Right.
But yeah, that's how much it was here for her to get all that done. So, I mean, that to some that's a lot, to some it's not. Us, I would gladly pay that. I would gladly have paid 5 times that, honestly, if I had to save her, because she's our baby. But you would think something like cancer and something like that would cost so much, especially the cost in the U.S.
Yeah, absolutely. Cost in the U.S. is really off the chain.
Yeah.
And you get all these people, and people are struggling right now and barely can make it, barely making ends meet. So some people can't really actually afford to put this kind of money out to save the animal. The lady just came out and plain out and told us, Friday, she said, you know what, it's better off. She went and got the surgery.
Yeah.
They look at the staples in her. They said they did a good job at the hospital. And she said, you really didn't have too much of an option, have a choice. They say either we could take her leg, or you can do nothing at all, let her keep the little spot on her, and she would have, died and passed away. So it's just something to think about when you really don't have, a lot of money and you have a pet. It just puts everything in a different perspective.
Yeah.
That's why I tell people, those that do have the money, start spending money like crazy. Put your money aside, because you never know what's going to come up if you have a pet,
an emergency,
or emergency, or yourself.
Because it could have been one of us. And even though you do get free medical care, there are certain things that you would probably want privatized doctor's visits and things with, and so then there's going to be a cost. So I mean, it's not large, like you went. So update on you also, since we're talking medical. Eric normally in the DR would always go to physical therapy through the VA, obviously for free. And you hadn't gotten his physical therapy recently. And so he went to see his primary here, which is your doctor that you've been assigned for this area. The doctor took, like we did the video, and he did back x-rays and all those tests on you, and then said, yes, we see, the amount of damage in your back. I need to get you hooked up with physical therapy, which I was like, oh, I thought they were going to tell, because I'm so used to doctors in the US, like even Siri. And in the US, they have to tell you what doctor you can and can't go to. And he said, oh no. He was like, choose. He was like, and he goes, here, I'll give you my top 3 recommendations. And I was like, I get to choose? Like, we get to choose where you're going? And he's like, of course. And I was just like, for free? He's like, yes. And I was like, what? And so then you got one of the best ones he suggested at one of the hospitals, and he goes in for physical therapy for free.
Yeah, I don't have to pay anything. No copay, anything. Just go in for an hour, have physical therapy, and then come back home.
And how many days a week?
3 days a week.
Look at that.
3 days a week.
Not a question. They told you that every day, 3 times a week, was it Monday, Wednesday, Friday? That they would have a slot available at what time? At a certain time for you.
From 3 to 4.
There you go.
3 to 4 every day.
Simple.
Now, even when I got physical therapy and I was in DR, they billed the government. Here, there's no billing nobody.
Well, the government's paying for that because
the government is paying
it's coming out of taxes and things like that. So but the ease though, like you went, they made your initial appointment for you. You went to that, and then for them to just be like, you're set up. And did they speak English? Because that's a thing I know a lot of people worry about.
They spoke English, and I was really shocked because they give you the culture shock out here. Like Portuguese can't speak English. That's not true. I found that out to be completely different. The lady at the front desk at the hospital spoke English. The doctor, my free private doctor, he spoke English.
Yep.
They even laid at the front desk saying, we don't have doctors that can speak English here. I said, okay. I don't give up. I said, okay, I got a translator on my phone. I get in there, so I talk to him a little bit, show him my translator. And before I know it, he was telling me, putting my phone up, doing the translation piece. He started speaking English. So now we speak English to one another. Then I got to my physical therapist thinking he was going to speak English. And he speaks about good English as I do.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's all good.
Yeah.
And then I hear they're starting to require at some jobs.
Yeah. To be bilingual.
To be bilingual.
If they're going to be dealing with, because they got so many expats coming.
Because it's money.
And it was the same thing with her.
Yeah.
Like our vet here in the area that's just a few blocks away from us, she speaks English. We went down to a bigger facility because of her needing an oncologist and a surgeon and all that. And every single person that we dealt with at one vet, so that's the name of the 24-hour veterinary service that we use. And it's one of the best out here, our vet said, and they were really excellent. Everyone spoke. The oncologist speaks perfect English. We went back there, and one of the guys that was training with the lab tech, remember, for her x-rays and all that, or ultrasound, he was like, oh, where are you guys from? And he spoke English, and he, the ultrasound, I keep saying x-ray, the ultrasound guy spoke perfect English. Her surgeon that spoke English every week or every day, they updated us, they called us. And it was always one of the surgeons that were on call. They all spoke English. We were in there when a lot of expats were bringing in their pets.
Yeah, they sure were.
And they were checking in the front, because in the front desk, they spoke English. Like every step, somebody was there to explain something with no problems and no hesitation, which I loved.
And your pets are part of your family. You guys that have pets, you guys that moved out here to Portugal, you want to make sure that your pet can be well taken care of. He's going to go to the good doctors like you go. You want to go to good doctors.
Exactly.
That's very important, guys. You don't know about to chop your animal up, because that's not good. It could be a lot of problems mentally for you and for the animal itself. So that's something you want to consider when you move out here. All you guys coming out here with pets, you got to get up with a good vet and somebody, and even if that animal needs some additional attention, you got to make sure that you're dealing with the right people out here. and they can speak English and they can meet the needs of your
and
family
we
member.
did drive to Coimbra about 50 minutes away to take her to the hospital, but it was worth it because, like our vet said, she was like, we don't do that here. We're not skilled for that here. We can do her tests here. We can do her aftercare here, but you want to go to the best, and that's in Coimbra at one vet. And it ended up being amazing.
And you know, Tina, also what I love about the whole thing, Liz vet and one vet communicate with one another.
Yes, every day, just like
part.
they did us.
I love that part.
Yeah, our vet literally said they would call you with an update, and they called us. I love that because you have to have that communication. Which that's the same thing. Like in the DR, that was my biggest issue. Like I liked that you had your VA hospital or whatever, but sometimes the doctors didn't communicate. And that could be a problem with medicine. You guys that know that you're on medication or whatever, you need to, the doctors need to communicate, because that's when you can get over medicated, under medicated, end up in the hospital. Like everyone has to communicate so that you are taken care of. And here, when you're put in the system, for you, everything pops up, like all the medications you've taken, any doctors that have seen you. And it's really good because that's all documented so that there's no problems. And then we also pay for an extra service. And you guys that have been through consultation, we tell you guys about that, but that service helps you also with getting through the bureaucracy, calling on your behalf, seeing a doctor at any time, telecommunication wise. And sometimes some people are like, I don't want to pay for that. But when it's your health and you need somebody on call and you need somebody to really be your advocate, because that's what they are, an advocate, it's priceless, honestly, I think.
And without consultation, because we took consultation before we moved out, we just didn't come out here blind. We took a consultation online. We got the information that we needed, because you know what? We don't like to speak from the top of our head, stuff that we don't know. This is a different country, it's a different beast.
Right.
This is Portugal, and we want to be able to help people, and we can't really help people, else you having the channel and doing consultation, unless we be well informed ourselves. Sometimes you can't get a lot of information on some of these chat lines, all that kind of stuff. Sometimes we get accurate information, just like we didn't get about the health care of our cat, of our pet. We didn't get any of that kind of information. We got everything else, but we didn't get that because the people that we did consultation with, they didn't have a pet. But now we've gotten to that piece, and now we can help those that are moving out to the country that has a pet. We can get you guys to the people that you need to talk to help you out. Because, like I said, you ain't just bringing your pet out here that's not going to get care. We still doing research trying to figure out, is there insurance, health insurance for your animal?
There is. I found
because that'll be a good piece. You got to go in your pocket and dig so deep.
Yeah. So Jorge said that there are many people who do not speak, he's talking about English, normally people 60 and above. Yeah.
Okay.
But that's true, because I mean, it is the younger people that they've learned it in school. He said some people new in more remote places, probably because they don't have anyone to practice. And yeah, we've run into a lot of people that they haven't practiced, like down the street at our little market. The wife feels uncomfortable that she doesn't get to practice. Her husband was like, now you have two people to practice with. Anytime they come in, you need to speak English. Let them, help you practice. So then she gets unshy. Same thing at our dental group. There was a person that was like, oh, I don't think my English is very good. I don't get to practice. And I was like, no, your English is perfecto.
Yeah, there's two of them, and they said, well, let me get her to help you. I said, no. I said, let's do dialogue. I teach you a word, you teach me a word.
Yeah.
I teach you a word, you teach me a word. And that's the only way to do it. Everybody got, because you know what? It can have an effect on your job if you're bilingual, because then that can take you to the next level if you know more than one language.
Right.
Because, even some of the ATM machines out here, stuff that I'll be doing, even when I go to get my car washed, I do it myself, self-wash. And there's something on there, the little button I hit for, what's that? The UK, which is English. They speak English in the UK, Great Britain. So that helps me to be able to tap into what kind of car wash I want. Do I want the wax? Do I want just the wash? Do I want the soap? All that kind of stuff. Same thing in the ATM machines. If you get out here and you tap into the wrong ATM machine out here, and you got your money in a Portuguese bank, and you can't get your money out because there's two machines you get. We went to the bank the other day. There's two machines. One, a regular Portuguese machine, and I think that's one that deals with getting your checks out if you want some checks. And there's another one to the left.
Well, because
you go to the wrong one, problems.
Yeah, the other machine is for them to pay services because some people don't do online. They go to the machine and they pay like their CTT and they pay like their utilities. They go and they pay like that, which that's what that machine's for. And then the money to withdraw is on another one. But like even the guy at the market, you know, I was trying to see if it was a vegetable that I was used to eating from Puerto Rico. And even he said, what do you call it in Puerto Rico? And I told him the Spanish word for it. And then he told me the Portuguese word because, hello, that's how you guys learn. I love like learning and, you know, expanding. And Jorge said, Portuguese is very easy if you speak Spanish because the words are similar. The problem is the pronunciation. Yes and no, because a lot of times I will speak Spanish porque yo hablo español. And once I start speaking Spanish, they go like this and they go English. And then they talk to me in English because they don't want to hear my Spanish. Like they're like, I don't understand you, girl. They're like even when I went to that pet store and she was like, I was speaking Spanish to her and she was like, no, I don't understand you. And I was like, okay, English. She was like,
but see, I'm learning not to get intimidated or run off because I went to the store the other day to get some cheese. I want some Parmesan cheese. And the young lady, she was young, but she didn't understand what I was saying. So no matter what I said, she did not just get the Mercury word cheese.
I didn't say it was Parmesan. Parmesan is Parmesan.
It was Parmigiano.
Well, it's still Parmesan. It's still Parmesan. If you say Parmesan, they know.
She didn't get it. So
she didn't want to get it. That's
but she didn't want to get it. But I put my phone out and I got the translation. And she said, "Oh, she was able to get it because I did the translation with my phone."
That's what took me so long.
That's took me so long, you know. But you know, you got to work things out. You just can't give up quick. Can't be afraid because if I wasn't afraid to pull out my translator and I was in the DR and they talk hecka fast in the DR.
That translator never worked.
Yeah, but it worked for me.
You can't use translators for Spanish people. We talk too fast.
I tell you what, I'm sorry. They talk fast in Portugal too.
And we cut off
language is really, really fast. That's why it's hard for me to catch on to it because it's real, real fast. Now the words that I do know, the words that I do know is when I go in the store and purchase something and I'm greedy, obrigado, bom dia, obrigado, you know, and then some of the other words I'm starting to pick up. You know, they say, if I walk down the street and I see another Portuguese, I say, hola, and they say, hola back. You know, some of those Spanish words, some of them are the same, but all of them are not. Just learning the pronunciation, how you pronounce it.
Pronunciation.
And just kind of, Now, change the subject a little bit. It's my birthday month and my son's birthday month. So we got some birthdays going on.
Yeah.
And I know it's a little early, but my son's birthday.
March be hitting my pocketbooks. Feel bad for me. My firstborn and him, both in March.
But you know what? Lord, let me see it. I'll be happy to be alive another year. That's the main thing. Now, also the next thing, we're moving on quickly.
Wait, we're gonna have to do a live for your birthday because normally for birthdays we do like a live. Okay,
I'll think about it. Give it some thought. Yeah. Only thing I'm concerned about right now is get me some good seafood for my birthday. So maybe I can do something at the restaurant. We'll have to do something. So we had some excellent wine experiences in these last two countries that we visited, from Spain to France.
Yes.
France was really, really informative as it relates to the wine, the quality,
the process, everything.
The color, the process,
and
also the cost that you pay for a bottle of wine. Now, this bottle here came from, I think it's from
where we stayed.
Stayed. And I'm telling you, how much this cost are you thinking?
This one was a little under 20 at the winery. But then when I was Googling how much this was, it was coming up between 60. And see, that just depends because the different places mark it up so damn high that it's ridiculous. But it came in between 60 and 90. And I was like, This is like a little under 20.
For the same bottle. Now this it has a good taste. Has a good taste to it. Pretty smooth.
You like it. I didn't like this one. I bought the other one that I liked. Yeah, but I bought you 2 bottles of that one because you really like that one.
Isn't this the emblem too? If you guys look at this, you guys can try
the keys
this.
To Bernard, it's I mean, it's the same. It's where we stayed. So if you watch a video that we did on Bordeaux and we did at the castle, it's from there. It's from that winery.
Pretty decent. This don't taste nothing like Yellowtail. I'm just telling you. Nothing like
I hope not. But like the ladies keep telling you, price does not dictate what you like. You should tell yourself what you like, because you could pay a lot for a bottle and it totally sucks.
Right.
So
now you go somewhere and you get your bottle of wine from a winery or anywhere else, and you pay $120 for that bottle. But you get home, you taste it, and the taste is terrible. It does you no good, because now you with a bottle of wine and it's a horrible taste. When you could have got a bottle of wine with some young fruit, young grapes, and it could taste even better than that expensive bottle that you paid for.
Well, everybody has different palates. That's why.
Everybody's got different palates.
You pay for what you enjoy and you like. Yes.
All right. Now, next on the list, FreeNow. You guys living out here in the country and you've got FreeNow, which is a rideshare company. They're no longer in business.
Yeah, which I saw the demise of that because most Uber drivers were doing FreeNow. And they had times where, remember, where Uber would be really popular during that time, and FreeNow, no one would pick you up, and then you go to Uber, and then you get a bunch of people to pick you up because Uber was paying more.
Right.
So when I saw that, I told you, I was like, FreeNow is not going to be here for long because Uber is charging more. Not that they're paying the guys more, but they're charging more. So Uber is going to kill them out, and they did. So now FreeNow is not a rideshare app anymore. So we had to delete that because it's no longer in Portugal.
No longer
in all of Portugal, it's gone.
Now Bolt and Uber is still here.
Bolt is still here. It's trying to hold on. I think Bolt was bigger. It's a bigger company. It's in other countries. We're FreeNow. I didn't see it. Well, no, they had FreeNow in Spain.
Did it?
Yeah, but Bolt is crazy in Spain. Yeah, you can use Bolt like crazy.
Yeah, they're all over the place. Yeah.
Yes. And then and another thing that they had in the news was about the golden visas. So like we say in our consultations, I will say that again, keep up with the news, and we give you a few really good outlets because they give you up-to-date news as it hits, because everything here is changing. Everything. The visas are changing. The what do you call it? Not the requirements. The visas are changing, and they're doing changes in with the realty out here. So all the realtors and things like that are kind of getting a little shake up. They're allowing them to charge certain things. They're allowing them to not overcharge in certain things. So you really need to keep up with the news. And we're finding you're still competing a lot with people that are coming from other countries, as well as the Ukraine. We're still getting a lot. Yeah, we're still getting a lot of people that have left and are still trying to get real estate out here, rentals, until they can buy. And they came in with big money. We are not talking. It's not the Ukrainians that you see on the TV over a soup pot. It's the rich ones. They got lots of money. They got long money. They're laying down and saying, "Look, I'll pay you a half a month or 6 months in, half a year, 6 months in a deposit, and I'll pay you a whole year in advance." They ain't playing. They're not playing. They're coming out here trying to get that. When they find something they want, they are being highly, aggressively competitive is the word I would use.
Right.
To get the place that they want to get.
Right. But the Portuguese government is cracking down on that because what you're doing, you're outpricing the Portuguese people.
Yes.
That's working hard every single day, and they can't live the life that they used to live. And I think it's completely unfair. Nobody should be able to do that. Right. This will always be Portugal. And I always respect the people, just like I respect the people in other countries and in Dominican Republic and everywhere else. That's their country.
It's no different. Different though than gentrification in the U.S. To me, it's the same thing. parts of California that used to be minority cities. And then they went in and they gentrified that shit. And they ran out all the minorities because the minorities can't afford it no more. So where somebody's whole generation had lived, they can't afford to live there no more because they put up some parks and put up a few Starbucks and put up a few Whole Foods. And now all of a sudden their kids can't afford to live there.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing, has a different name. That's literally it. Same thing, different name.
Yeah, but everybody's struggling everywhere right now.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. So with gentrification, no one ever stopped that in the U.S. The politicians love that shit because it rises the price on taxes, on property tax and sales tax and everything else tax that they can tax them. So I'm telling you, you will sit back sometimes when you move to another country and you'll see how they handle things, whereas they actually care about their people here in Portugal and don't want people to get priced out. And you'll say, well, dang, why doesn't the U.S. care like that about us? They don't, because in the end, it's all about the money. If you don't agree, hit me in the comments because you know I'm right.
It's all about
I'm right. Yes, it's all about who's lining the politicians' pockets, whose interests paid enough to make sure it got done. And in the end, they're always going to want to cover those taxes. They want those taxes to go up because that's paying all that government. That's paying it all. So I don't understand how the U.S. can justify a lot of the things they do. And I'm not just saying that because I left. Like literally, you say that until you leave, until you see something different. Because when you go to another country and see what they do and how they handle stuff, and you're like I tell my kids, they're like, oh, well, how much do you pay? And I'm like, I paid, such X amount for, to register the car. How much was that?
Oh, the register our car here?
Yeah.
In the States or here?
No, here.
I
can't remember. It was so cheap.
It was really cheap. I think it was like $31, something like that.
And then the kids are like, I can't remember. And the kids are like, what? That's for what? A week, a month? I'm like, no, for the whole year. And they're like, why am I paying all this money to the DMV? And I was like, I don't know. Why are you paying all this money to the DMV? That's what I'm asking. Like, why is the U.S. charging all of this?
3 or 4. I think, but in the U.S. they go by, especially Nevada, Vegas, they go by the cost of the value of the car.
Because that's always what it's about. The money.
Yeah,
they make the money off the money, honey.
Yeah,
always.
They eat you alive. And that's why we tell people, you guys get a car, make sure that, especially in the States, you make sure that if you're in a high tax state like it is in Nevada, even though they don't pay tax, but it's still, I would say,
there's
a high fee state.
Yeah, well, so is California, so is New York.
Yeah, but they got them some taxes. New York, so. Vegas is just fees. They'll fee you to death. Yeah. They might just add the tax back for the most part. But anyway, so my next point I want to bring out, I'm starting a new series of teaching. Not this Sunday, but next Sunday. And it's going to entail new adventures, new possibility, new experiences, enlarging your territory, and not being landlocked at the same place. So I'm just going to begin to encourage you to move to the next level. Don't think that you have to sit where you are in your seat, in your city, inside the county line instead of outside the county line. I want to encourage you to travel, do concentration, get out there and see the world that God has placed us on earth for to see, that you can guys begin to go out, try new foods, meet new people, and just begin to enjoy a new community. Don't have to sit there and feel that you're just locked in. You can never travel, you can never go nowhere. Get your passport, because everything starts with your passport. Yes. So we're going to begin to deal with these things, in the next few weeks or so, that you can begin to see life in a new perspective, a new reality in your life. And it will encourage you, get up and do something.
Yep.
Don't talk about it, be about it.
I like that. And remember, hit that chat, tell us where you're from, say hello so that we can see who's on here with us, and give that thumbs up, because in the end, unfortunately, it's all about the algorithm.
There you go.
It is.
So help us out, we'll help you out.
So to round this all up and to scoop this off from where we started, we were talking about medical costs, and we talked about the entire cancer treatment of our cat. We're talking from the rooter to the tutor, from the beginning to the end, with her testing, her ultrasounds, her biopsy, her operation, her extended stay, and her last test. And we ended up at $1,275, which was $1,275. And to put that in perspective, like I said, someone reached out from California and said, I spent over $1,000 just to go to an emergency room visit because my cat had the runs. And he was like, I paid more than that. And then another person from New York also said that they had cancer treatment done to their cat and it was over. She didn't even say the amount. She was just like, it's over 10,000. And I was like,
that's a that's rent for like what, 3 months.
That's like a little car almost.
That's like rent for like 3 or 4 months. But it's crazy how expensive things got, because a lot of these businesses, stuff like that, everybody's struggling, so they jack the prices up. And you know what? You really don't have a choice when it comes to the care of your animal.
Or
you have to care. You at the mercy of whoever's charging you to get you through what you got to go through.
Yeah. Or you, like I said.
Or yourself too. Yeah. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. We're going to be in and out, relaxed, enjoying our beautiful Saturday evening on the other side of the world, here in the beautiful country of Portugal, where the sunshine keeps us bright, keeps us happy. And we love being here in the country. We love everybody. So continue to subscribe to the channel, follow us in our journeys. We got some beautiful things to show you, some beautiful food, beautiful places, and also to help you. So when you go get to that neck of the woods, you can be able to say, wow, this guy been there before.
Yes.
And we can, wow, he showed us what to do, how to do, and we can get through what we need to get to flawlessly and not with a lot of complications, hopefully.
Yeah.
So in the meantime, between the time, don't forget that life is to be enjoyed.
Yes. So make sure you guys keep hitting that subscription, that notification, that thumbs up. And remember that all information is underneath every video so that you guys can get informed, stay informed. Better that than not. And if you want to hit us up for a consultation.
And not just be informed, but also stay encouraged. So till the next video, peace.